Hello everyone. Today in this lecture what we will do is we will discuss GRUs, and the full form of GRU is Gated Recurrent Unit, and this is basically a improvement over the LSTM network, that is the long short term memory architecture that we had discussed in our last lecture. So it has some advantages over LSTM. And what are the advantages over LSTM? So the advantage is basically it has, you know that LSTM has a lot of parameters to update during the back propagation process, as we had discussed in details in our earlier lecture, and that is due to large number of gates. So we have large number of gates in LSTM, because of which we have lot of parameters which are to be updated during back propagation process, and as a result of which the training time actually increases when you do the training of the LSTM architecture. So that is a main drawback of LSTM architecture. So what GRU is doing is it is coming up with a simplified version of the LSTM architecture with only 2 gates and 1 hidden state. So this is important. So what happens is it's basically overcoming the disadvantage of LSTM in terms of the complexity of the network, and it tries to simplify it by using only 2 gates and 1 hidden state. So let us discuss gated recurrent units in more detail and try to understand what is the internal structure of GRUs and its advantages. So as it has 2 gates and 1 hidden state, it can be easily represented in a very simplified view as shown over here. So you can see we are representing GRU by this very simplified diagram. So here if you observe, we have the 2 gates which we are discussing. One is the reset gate, another one is the update gate. So these are the 2 gates which are actually controlling the information which is passed from the earlier from one of the GRU units to the next GRU unit. So the information that is actually passing from the from one GRU unit to the another GRU unit is h of t minus 1 from the earlier GRU unit to the h of t to the next GRU unit. So this is the information which is actually stored in the hidden state of the GRU units, which are actually passed to the next GRU unit. So if you observe carefully, the information which is passed over here in this fashion is actually controlled by reset gate as well as the update gate. So reset gate actually, what is the role of reset gate? The role of reset gate is to reset the information, like it actually controls how much information you want to pass from the from ht minus 1 to ht. So it controls that, whereas the update gate actually controls how much information you want to add to the previous information to get to the next information ht. So basically these 2 gates will actually operate on ht minus 1 to control the information. So let us individually discuss the internals of the reset gate as well as the update gate and see what's there inside the reset gate and the update gate. So the update gate is basically, it helps us to decide what information from the previous time ht minus 1, previous time of ht minus 1. So it's basically the information that you have from the previous time ht minus 1 that can be taken forward to the next time step ht. So it tries to update by adding extra information to this ht minus 1 using summation. So once we discuss this architecture in detail, you will see there will be a plus sign over here. So what this plus sign will do is it will actually add extra information to ht minus 1 so that it will pass through ht. Zt is basically the output of this update gate. So that will be given as sigma, which is the sigmoid operation on uz xt plus wz h of t minus 1 plus bz. So these are the trainable matrices which you will be training during the back propagation, and xt is the input at the current time step t, and ht minus 1 is the information in the hidden state at the previous time step ht minus 1 at t minus 1, and this is the bias. So basically the update gate is represented in this equation. If you see this in a diagram, it will look like this. So here you can see we have ht minus 1. So this ht minus 1 is multiplied with wz, which is the weights which are connecting the hidden layer here with the hidden layer here. So we have 2 hidden layers. One is this hidden layer, another one is this hidden layer. So it's so weights are wz are interconnection between these 2 hidden units. The second term you have is uz x of t. So here UZ is the weight matrix that connects input to the hidden layer here. So that's why we have UZXT, and both of them are actually added. Both of them are input to this hidden layer here. So once you have this, you will, you can pass it through the non-linear sigmoid here, that is sigma, and the output of this layer is ZT, which is given over here. So this ZT is this ZT here. So this shows you the basic block diagram of the update gate, and the next we will discuss is the block diagram for the reset gate. So the next gate that we are talking about now is reset gate. And reset gate, if you see, it helps us to decide how much information, that is the information that you have in the past, can be forgotten. So basically reset gates are trying to help us in filtering out how much information we can pass from the previous time step, which is ht minus 1, to the next time step, which is ht. So reset gates are trying to help us in filtering out that information. So the important point that to be noted here is that the architecture of the reset gate is also similar to that of the forget gate, but the only difference is in terms of the matrices that we have along with the current time step input as well as the previous time step information ht minus 1. So the way it is related, that is the reset gate output RT is related to the xt and the ht minus 1 is in this fashion. So if you draw the flow diagram or the signal flow diagram for this particular architecture, it will look like this, where you have WR times the ht minus 1, where WR is the interconnection of the weight matrices between the hidden state ht minus 1 and between this hidden state over here. So WR is basically the interconnection between these two layers, and whereas UR is basically the weight matrix which connects the input xt to this hidden layer. So the output of this sigmoidal unit is RT, which is actually given over here. So this is the information about the update gate as well as the reset gate. So now we will see how these two architectures which are shown over here, that is this one and this one, can be connected together to form the gated recurrent unit, that is GRE. So in order to do that, first of all we have to see how the updating of the information in the hidden state can be done. So that is very important. So we want to update the hidden state information and we want to pass that updated hidden state to the next time step ht. So we want to see how we can do that. So as we have just saw how update and reset gate works, but how these gates help us in updating the hidden state is the point of discussion now. So we have two topics to be discussed here. That is, the first topic is how do we add new information and how to remove the unwanted information. So these are the two topics that we will discuss now in detail, that is adding and removing of the information. So to add new information, what we do is we have created a new candidate state CT that is basically used for holding the information which will be added to the previous hidden state ht minus 1 using a plus operator. So when we will calculate this candidate state CT, it will be somehow be added to the previous hidden state information in the form of a plus operation. So it will add that information to the earlier information that we have from the hidden state, and once that addition happens, let us say it adds to the CT state here, so that will be passed to the next state. So this type of information addition is done through the candidate state CT, which actually is represented using the following equation. So as you can see, this equation has the following setup. Here we have this non-linearity, which is tan hyperbolic, and then we have UC times the current time step information that we are adding in the form of input xt, and then we have WC times the ht minus 1, the previous information that we have, times the RT, that is the reset gate that we have discussed in our earlier discussion. So this, if you observe carefully, this particular architecture that we have already discussed, this is the reset gate that we have already discussed, as you can see here. So the output of the reset gate is actually multiplied with the hidden state information to modify the information actually which is coming from the earlier time step t minus 1 through this multiplication operation. So what you are doing is you are actually selectively passing some of the information that is actually required by the candidate state to be added to the previous hidden state, so that that can be passed to the next state. So RT is actually acting as a controlling gate for the previous hidden state information to be passed to the next state through candidate gate. So this architecture clearly shows that here, the output of this reset gate controls the hidden state information, and then whatever goes as an output will be added to XTUC, so that once the summation is done, it will be passed through this 10 hyperbolic to get the candidate state CT. So you can see clearly that UC XT is basically here XT times UC. UC is actually the weights which actually connect the input to the hidden layer here, whereas WC is actually the weights which connects hidden states to the hidden states which are present over here. So this WC is the interconnection of the weights between the two hidden states, and HT-1 RT is basically what it is doing is RT is controlling the amount of information that you have to pass from the previous information which is encoded in the hidden state HT-1. So in this way you can add information through candidate state given by this equation. So the next thing that we want to study is that how to remove information from the hidden state. So in order to remove the information which is not relevant is done through the update gate ZT, which helps to decide what information from the previous time step HT-1 can be taken forward to the next time step HT. So multiplying HT-1 with ZT gives us the relevant information from the previous step. That is, what happens is, you have to create this ZT, which is the factor which will control how much information has to be passed from here to here. If you observe that candidate state CT which was present over here was actually acting as adding of the information to the HT-1 to get to the HT, whereas the multiplication operation over here is acting as a controlling parameter which actually controls whether this has to pass to HT or not. So it's basically acting as a direct connection between HT-1 and HT. So the important thing is, HT helps us in retaining what information which is important in the previous time step to be passed to the next time step, whereas the candidate CT will actually add extra information in the previous time step HT-1, so that the new information which is coming here as HT will have added information from this particular operation. So this ZT which we are showing over here, that's what it is written over here, that is multiplying HT-1 with ZT gives us the relevant information from the previous step. This is what this operation is actually all about. So the advantage of GRU is that we are reducing the number of gates, so that the number of parameters also reduce simultaneously. So what we do is, instead of having a new gate, the authors have taken a complement of the ZT, that is 1 minus ZT, and multiplied it with the candidate state CT. So what they have done is they have taken ZT this side, so the complement of this is 1 minus ZT here. So this will be 1 minus ZT. So this 1 minus ZT when multiplied with CT, so this particular thing here which I am writing here is as 1 minus ZT. So it's acting as this is also acting as a controller input to CT, that is how much information CT has to pass to HT or not. So it's also acting as a controlling gate for CT also. So the hidden state HT which we have over here is basically nothing but 1 minus ZT times CT, which is coming from here, plus ZT times HT-1, which is coming from this side. This is actually ZT times HT-1. And then the output of this GRU unit Y hat will be softmax of V times HT. So V is basically the weight matrix that connects the hidden layer here HT with that of the output hidden layer which we have here, followed by the softmax unit which is given in this box. So this completes the overall architecture of the gated recurrent unit. So the important thing that I want to discuss now is basically whether this particular architecture which we have in here, the GRU unit, which is actually advanced architecture of LSTM, whether it solves the problem of vanishing gradients or not. Let us see whether this is happening in case of gated recurrent units or not. So let me copy this. So here you see that we have this HT-1, which is the previous information, and we are passing it to HT, which is the next information, which is the information that is passed to the next state. And you know that this HT, which is the modified information, is controlled by ZT as well as the candidate state CT. So if ZT is basically all vectors of ones, let us say we have all vectors of ones here. So what will happen is this vector of ones will all be, multiplied with the HT minus 1, and it will pass all the information which is present in the hidden state HT minus 1 to this side. If all of these vectors are, if ZT is a vectors of all ones. So if ZT is a vector which is, let us say 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, something like this. So what will happen now is that ZT will pass 50% of the information which is present in the hidden state to the next. So this ZT is acting as a controlling parameter which controls how much information has to be passed from HT minus 1 to HT. And the next thing that we want to discuss is what is happening with this case of CT. So if CT is basically a vectors of all ones, then what will happen is it is adding, so if CT is a vector of, let us say 0.2, 0.1, 0.6, 0.8, something like this. So what it is doing is now that this particular value of CT is added to the old information of HT minus 1 with the factor of this array. So you are adding this array to the old information which you have in HT minus 1. So this additional information which is coming here is modifying the old information, which is then passed to the new state HT. So this information is important, and this information is calculated from this particular instant of time using this. So there may be a case where, this particular input will be all ones and this particular input at the plus sign will be all zeros. There can be a situation like that. So in that situation, what will happen? In that situation, you will have a direct connection between HT minus 1 and HT. So this direct connection is actually helping us in solving the problem of vanishing gradients, because during the back propagation, as we have discussed in our LSTM architecture also, so this direct connection is acting as a skip connection as it is there in the ResNet architecture. Similar thing you can observe here in GRUs and LSTMs, and this skip connection type of activity helps in solving the problem of vanishing gradients as the back propagation is done through this path. So we have discussed this in our earlier lecture on LSTM in greater details. So what I wanted to tell you here is that GRU also solves the problem of vanishing gradients, and it's an advanced architecture as compared to the LSTM, executes faster as compared to the LSTM because of the fewer number of gates. But if you use GRU or LSTM, depending upon your choice, there is a debate that which one performs better. So nobody has, come up with a concrete solution that GRUs are always better as compared to the LSTMs. Depending upon the situation, LSTM can also perform better than GRUs. So there is a mismatch in that situation. You cannot say concretely that GRUs are always better, but the time taken by GRUs are faster as compared to that of LSTM. But as far as performance is concerned, both can give you good performances in different applications.